If you can't answer these 5 questions, don't write the spicy scene yet, because when spice isn't earned, it reads like filler, and I'm sure you don't want that. And I'm telling you this as someone who has a sex scene in chapter 1. And I swear to God, I'm not trying to be hypocritical, I have a point. Spice, early spice specifically in my case, can work, but it just needs to do a very specific job. So like I said, there are 5 questions, and the first one is, what does this cost them to get here? What, not the reader obviously, them, the characters, what did it take emotionally for this moment to happen? So depending on your story, the cost might be history between the characters, or restraint, or the weight of what they are risking. With my story, they are specifically risking years and years of friendship behind them. So they have had countless thousands of moments where they could have crossed the line, but they didn't before. So that's important, because it means that having sex in chapter 1 isn't about them being horny, it's actually about them snapping. So that's it. What does it cost them? Spicy scene has to have narrative weight for it to work. If it doesn't change anything or reveal anything about the characters, and it doesn't cost them anything, then it's not a payoff. It might be fun to read and to write, but maybe hold your pen for another day. The second question is, what changes after this that cannot be undone? If the answer is nothing, then maybe keep it as a bonus scene, because it's not going to do anything for your plot. And I mean, you can have it, but know that it's not going to move the plot forward, because people are not going to care. Again, it might be fun to read, it might be fun to write, but it doesn't have any weight in the story. Spice works when it creates consequences for the characters. You anticipate the scene, and you anticipate, more than the scene, you anticipate the consequences of it, because it shifts the relationship, it rewires their dynamic, it makes something about these two people, or between these two people, impossible to unknown. They can't go back to the moment before that. In my story, for example, once they cross that line, they can't go back to being just friends the same way, because now they have a secret. They know things about the other that they didn't know before. Boundaries get messy. Jealousy isn't hypothetical anymore. Their friendship, this thing between them that has existed for so many years and that they have been protecting, becomes the thing that now is at risk. That's the cost for them. And once they cross that line, they don't get to pretend that they didn't. The third question is, what's the fear that it's being risked? Fear is the engine. It's the reason that romance scenes connect with readers. Like, a lot of times these fears are universal. Like, what could be a fear? Rejection, abandonment, not being enough for the other person, losing control, losing the friendship in this case, being seen fully when you don't want to is another one. And I mean, these are universal themes that we have suffered in our personal lives, right? Think about the tropes that you love. In workplace romance, the fear is, my life is gonna blow up if this or when this goes wrong. In second chances, like, if I trust you again, then I'm an idiot. In friends to lovers might be, I don't want to lose this friendship. So find the fear in your story and name it in one word. And if there's no fear, then maybe work it in there because it's necessary. So the fear for these characters that I'm writing is not, what if the sex is bad? It's actually, what if I say I love you and you don't say it back? Which a lot of us have been there, right? Or worse, what if you do love me back, but it destroys what we already have? So that's why Friends with Benefits is so tempting for them, because it lets them touch the thing without actually sacrificing anything. The fourth question that you should ask yourself before writing that spicy scene is, why now? What's the catalyst? Why did the pressure break today and not 6 months ago or 2 months ago or yesterday? That is this is usually where the scene can fail and fail hard, because in romance you can't treat sex like a random event. It's not the weather, it's not rain. You can't say like, well, today is Tuesday afternoon, it's rainy and we have nothing better to do. So no, something has to push them over the edge. So what is it? There are many things that can act as a catalyst. It could be vulnerability, it could be forced proximity, it could be a near loss, a third party intervention. It can be even logic, like they can twist themselves into thinking that whatever they are going to do is the right thing to do for whatever logic that they worked to suit the need that they have in that moment. So it can be, and this I have read it a lot, it can be, we'll do it once and get it out of our systems, and then things will go back to normal and it will be fine, which is really a very funny lie that humans tell themselves. So that's why in my story I think that sex in chapter 1 can work, because it's a decision made under pressure. You'll see, you'll read it someday. The fifth and final question is, what is the emotional takeaway? When the scene ends, what is the reader supposed to feel? It could be relief, it could be ache, it could be dread, it could be happiness, tenderness, joy, panic. Oh no, consequences. In my particular case, in my story, the takeaway isn't that was hot, which it was. I wrote it, I liked it. It's finally, but also it's, oh my god, now they're screwed. What is going to happen to their friendship? Because the scene isn't about the attraction, which is there. It's about avoidance. And they are using sex to avoid honesty. And you know that's going to be a ticking time bomb somewhere. If you're struggling with any of these questions, let me know and drop it in the comments, because I am not shooting my own horn. Well, I kind of am, but I am great at brainstorming, so let me know if I can help. And if this was useful, or if you liked it for any reason, and if you enjoy my rambling, then give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!